A yard care robot that can mow your lawn, trim the edges, sweep up your leaves or grass clippings, or even plow your snow, all with capabilities to avoid obstacles, handle slopes up to 35 degrees, self-mapping with cuttable areas between 1 and 1.5 acres. Too good to be true? Well, Yarbo sponsored today's exciting video so we can get a sneak peek at the new M-Series Core and modules. Now, if you're not familiar with Yarbo's modular technology, it's a real product that's already in production. The Yarbo Core module goes out, performs tasks in pre-programmed areas of your yard, so you don't have to. Matter of fact, if it runs low on battery, it'll take itself back to the charger, recharge, then resume the task. It's like living in the future. The whole idea is swap on modules for every season. The M-Series, it's the newest release of the Yarbo Core series. It's set to launch on Kickstarter, and we're going to talk more about this later. Now, to be fully transparent, what we're seeing is a pre-production model, which means that what we're testing is only going to get better before the final product is shipped. And I really get excited testing the pre-production models. But if you've seen Austin Powers, think Mini-Me.
We began a program to clone you.
Cool.
Send in the clone!
He is exactly like you in every way. Except 1/8 your size.
The same Yarbo Core concept, just in a smaller package, and because the original idea with Yarbo is not buy a different robot for every job, it's one core, then you swap the modules depending on what you're doing. So instead of owning one machine for mowing, another for leaves, and another for snow, the pitch is one platform to store and manage, and you add modules over time, and those modules are what unlock the job. So mowing, leaf cleanup, snow clearing, and edge/corner trimming. Now, why the M-Series? Well, Yarbo's main core and the modules, they do a fantastic job for large areas, but they may be a little bit overkill for smaller areas like my lawn. It's just about 1/4 of an acre. So the M-Series for those properties on up to 1.5 acres.
And it comes in 3 different core modules.
So let's talk about what Yarbo is promising us about the M-Series Core. Now, capability-wise, they claim it can handle a slope up to 35 degrees or 70%. It can even tow up to 220 pounds, and it can get over obstacles that are as high as 2 inches. That includes roots, edges, uneven transitions, etc., with the track chassis and grip assist. As far as navigation goes, the M-Series is using nRTK satellite positioning and binocular cameras in both the front and the rear, which means data center and the RTK antenna are now optional on all models due to the onboard network RTK. Now, LiDAR versions are recommended for areas with limited line of sight to the sky, and we'll get into that in a bit. Now, as far as the battery goes, the M-Series comes in a 10 ampere-hour pack or a 20 ampere-hour pack, depending on the model that you choose, which we're also going to talk about shortly. Entire charge times are 40 minutes and can charge 10% to 90% in about 30 minutes on the 10 ampere-hour pack, and on the 20 ampere-hour pack, entire charge time is 80 minutes, and going from 10 to 90% is 60 minutes. And the battery is rated IPX6. Now, as far as the setup and installation goes, it's actually pretty simple. You're going to attach the modules to the core that you want to program. Then you use the remote control in the Yarbo app using your phone. You simply just trace the boundary area. It's a pretty simple process. With LiDAR, they have built-in self-mapping. So for smaller lawns like mine, I've been able to program a few zones within about 15 minutes. And the nice thing is this, it's multi-zone capable with the mower module. So you can create a front yard versus a backyard and set up channels between the zones where the module doesn't engage between the zones. So, but enough of the small talk, let's start the mow. Now, as far as first impressions, finally, the biggest concern I've always had with the previous generation Yarbos, just simply the size. It was overkill for a property like mine, and the machine was just simply too big. And this solves all of it. I always liked the design, the tank style tires, climb slopes with ease, not to mention it's modular so it handles multiple jobs. And I live in a mountain region that sees all 4 seasons. I mostly used the Yarbo Core in the previous generations for blowing snow on my property, but now I can mow, I can pick up the leaves and debris and trim around the front and backyard, making it a more autonomous experience.
The Yarbo M-Series comes with 3 core options.
Got the M10, the M20, and the M20i. The I means it's powered with LiDAR, and from what I'm gathering, Yarbo developed different cores for different types of users. Primary use for all modules is lawn maintenance, and the other modules focus on leaves and also pushing snow. The M10, they're positioned for regularly maintained lawns and routine use. Complete with a 10 ampere-hour battery, 150 watt by 2 motors, and the mower module comes complete with the razor blade style deck, which is perfect for maintaining lawns. So great for maintaining up to 1 acre of area per day. And the M20 and the M20i are the power and stamina step up. Complete with the 20 ampere-hour battery, 300 watt by 2 motors, can handle an area up to 1.5 acres per day. And the mower module comes complete with what Yarbo calls their straight blades, what I would consider rotary blades that run up to 6,000 RPMs. And Yarbo frames it for cutting thicker, wet, or even tall grass. Also, this is the model recommended for larger snow areas using the snow module, considering the additional power. So why choose the LiDAR model? The LiDAR allows the core to work in areas the RTK satellite technology is limited. So under trees or where line of sight to the sky is limited. Where RTK won't work as well, LiDAR handles it. So what about the modules? Now I've had a chance to see them in action. The mower module comes in 2 models. You have the razor blade lawnmower module and the straight blade mower module. Now the mow module with the razor blades is perfect for more refined lawns that are taken care of regularly. Great option for running them 3 to 5 days per week and mulching all that grass material back into the soil, which is very beneficial. And the straight blade or the rotary blade is more versatile. It allows for regular maintenance mowing, but also allows you to mow through taller grass and gives you a bit more versatility. And you can also sharpen the rotary blades yourself, which I'd recommend that you do about every 20 mows. For edge work, there's the trimmer module. Auto feeding line and trimming heights listed at 2 to 4 inches. Love the design, the implementation of the trimmer. I've seen it working on the larger core. It's actually pretty cool. The leaf cleanup or the debris cleanup, Yarbo has an auto collector. It collects debris, empties on its own, and resumes the task after emptying. Supports 50 plus preset dumping spots that you will choose. For snow, the plow module is angled at plus or minus 25 degrees. Now this helps channel the snow side to side so you're not left with the snow strip after each pass. Now one thing about Yarbo is they use high quality materials. Plow, it feels super sturdy. I haven't personally used it in the snow yet, but the demo online, it's been promising. What I can tell you is that I have used a 1st generation core with the plow on it, and it worked as advertised, and this is definitely a step up from the one that I used. So what about the data center? Well, here's the deal. The data center allows you to transmit high definition images through the binocular cameras all the way through your Yarbo application. They also develop what is called SAM, or the Smart Assist module, which gives you access to your Yarbo's cameras through the application. And it also acts as a security feature.
This area is under surveillance. Please move away.
So if it sees something that's unknown in the yard, it's gonna snap a picture of it, upload it to the cloud, and you're gonna be able to see what's going around. Now, I personally like it because I can check in on my property anytime that I want, and it's just a good solid feature. So question, do you go with the straight blade module or do you go with the razor blade module? And here are my thoughts on that. The razor blade module, it's gonna give you a better, finer finished cut than this one. However, think about this, you've been using rotary blades for umpteen years. Still gonna have a really nice refined cut.
This is gonna run at higher RPMs,
which allows you to mulch more off the top and get it to a refined mulch or a finer substance that the soil can actually handle. Now with this one, you're gonna have to take less off the top to get that refined look. Now it's not that it can't mow off the top. You've seen here, we've taken almost an inch off of the top. It's just, it's not mulching it into that fine itty bitty little piece. So if you don't mind mowing 3 to 5 days a week, this is a fantastic option. Will give you a fantastic cut. Just keep in mind, you're gonna have to flip the blades about every 3 weeks or so, and then order new ones, where this one, you can actually sharpen the blades on your own. So this is gonna handle taller grass. They're claiming it's gonna go through wet matter as well, and mulch it up really, really nicely. And the blades actually look pretty cool. They have a little bit of a high lift to it, so I believe it's gonna suck the grass up. It's gonna hit it just like a regular lawnmower would in a robotic lawnmower fashion with a module on it. It's actually pretty cool, but ultimately the choice is yours. They both have their own place. Let's get into my favorite part of the video, which is going over the pros and the cons of the M-Series. Now, overall, I really like the design, and the addition of the nRTK means that the data center is now optional, and the LiDAR in the I-Core series will increase reliability in those covered areas. I'm a big fan of LiDAR, and the overall size being smaller for the average homeowner is fantastic. Smaller properties can now have more of a reason to use this tech, and with the M-Series being a lighter machine, there's less chance of tracks tearing up the lawn with daily use. But make no mistake, this mighty little machine, it mows up to 1.5 acres in a 24-hour period. It's a lot in my opinion. It can also mow at night with the built-in lights, and the machine's pretty quiet. It's marketed around 60 decibels, but the real game changer is the modules. I tested a lot of yard care mowers, and the truth is, they all sit in my garage over the winter except the Yarbo. One machine, multiple jobs, and one thing that I do know about Yarbo is that they're always developing and testing new modules to add onto the machine to create value. The change that I hope for in the core module, which was mainly just the smaller machine, the M-Series solves. One unique thing about the track design is the machine can also handle going over gravel and uneven terrain, not to mention it can handle going over obstacles or small curbs up to 2 inches tall. So if you've got some complicated channels to get from one zone to the next, this can handle it. The most impressive part about the machine is the build quality. It feels high end and loaded with tech. So what are you not getting buying the M-Series over the bigger Yarbo Core? Well, the primary specs is the power, size of the battery, and also the towing capacity. So the M-Series tows up 220 pounds, where the Yarbo Core machine with the tow hitch can tow up to 3,500 pounds, assuming it's an item on level ground with wheels. Now, the other thing is the M-Series can push snow, but not large enough to handle the 2-stage snow blower on the front, which means for bigger snowstorms, you may need to use a snow blower instead of the plow. So which machine would you choose? So here's my opinion on this subject. You pick the M10, your lawn is regularly maintained, and you want the baseline core for routine mowing. This is paired with the 10 ampere-hour setup and the lighter duty mowing option listed at 2 motors at 150 watts. Now you pick the M20 or the M20i if you want more muscle. So especially if you plan on running straight blades with the rotary blade setup for that thick, wet, or even tall grass, this jumps you up to 2 by 300 watt motors listed at 6,000 RPMs on the mower module, plus the 20 ampere-hour stamina package that runs at 1.5 acres per day. So you choose the LiDAR package if you don't want to rely on the binocular vision, or you don't have direct line of sight to the sky, because the LiDAR is a little bit more accurate with the positioning in those circumstances. This isn't just a mower choice. It's which core fits your property, because the M-Series is built around swap-on modules for mowing, trimming, leaf cleanup, and even snow. If you're interested in the Yarbo M-Series, I'll be sure to put a link of the product in the description of the video and pin it in the comments. Now, as I mentioned earlier, it's launching on Kickstarter. So to be clear, Kickstarter isn't a normal online store. It's a crowdfunding launch where you back an idea or a project. So the good news is Yarbo's already launched on Kickstarter a couple of times before, and they've delivered on those past campaigns. So the benefit of joining the campaign now is that you commonly get a good discount, so it's worth checking out. Just keep in mind the machine that I'm showing here, it's a pre-production model, subject to some slight changes here and there before post-production. But in the meantime, guys, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, hit me up down in the comments down below. You know I love to help you guys out. Till next time, guys, the Pest and Lawn Ginja. We're slaying lawns.